Greetings, this is Ras Tafari. The time has come for the lions to tell their own story. See? This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right here, sir. Ras Tafari said that. Are you satisfied? Wipe those tears from your eyes. I'm all alone, still you thought I was telling a lie. This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right here, sir.
I will never stop, hail the Most High, and I will never stop, call Rastafari. Blessed love, this is Kushite representing for the Lion's Voice. We are here to tell our own story, Rastafari.
And he gives us little tidbits, he says things like, even though they might have had issues, that those issues never needed outside interference, that they were able to come together and solve their issues, which shows a positive connection between the two, understanding one another. I think that that's important. Also, the level of loyalty that he talked about the Empress having towards him or for him. For example, she was on her way to a funeral and heard about the boating accident where several people drowned, right? And His Majesty was a part of that accident, and how she, turned around on that journey to be with him during that time. So, we don't know a lot about their union, but what we do know, we hear from him, and it seems as if it was a very loving union. And there is something else. Let's talk about this really quickly. And we get this from the Empress's grandson or great grandson's autobiography. I think it's called King of Kings, when he talks about the fact that when Haile Selassie was about to ascend the throne, that he was being advised or considering not ascending the throne with Empress Menen, but ascending the throne with a woman who was considered by certain standards as more beautiful. And so during that time, Haile Selassie makes a decision to ascend the throne, as we know, with Empress Menen. So that was a tough time. That was a tough situation, because by that time,
this is brand new information for I don't know this.
Oh,
yes.
I stopped the reading, Ross, just a little bit.
The year is 1892, and the land of Ethiopia has been experiencing 4 years of terrible famine and drought. They call it the Kikuken, or the evil days. At least 1/3 of the human population and 90% of the cattle have died. The hyenas have feasted on so many carcasses that they have become overweight and barely able to move. Just when the people could take no more of the evil days, a woman named Wasiro Yeshimabet is giving birth in a place called Erjersa Gora. This is her 9th attempt to bring forth new life. Her previous 8 attempts only resulted in death. Will this child live? Thankfully, a healthy baby boy is born. His first cries are drowned by thunder and lightning flashes across the night sky. The heavens open up and torrential rain starts to fall. Ethiopia's drought is over, and the baby boy is given the name Tafari, meaning one to be feared or respected. Tafari's father, Ras Tafari, is a very important man in 1892 Ethiopia. Although he is overjoyed at the birth of his newborn son, he cannot spend much time with him. Ras Tafari is the governor of Harar and must get back to the famous walled city to deal with its affairs. Furthermore, he is the foreign minister of Ethiopia, and having traveled to different places in Europe, he is very aware of the material and military advances they have made and the looming threats they pose to his country. Ras Tafari knows that the majority of Ethiopians have no idea what is coming, and that he has to work that much harder to secure the realm. Tafari would grow up to become the legendary emperor, Haile Selassie I. To understand his journey, we must first understand the Ethiopia that he was inheriting, and what it was like when he was born in 1892. Get your copy of Kwasi Bansu's book, Haile Selassie I, Ethiopia, Volume 1, The Rise of the Priestly Warrior Kings, and increase your knowledge about the history, politics, and culture of Ethiopia in 1892, and how it connects to the rest of African and world history at the time. Haile Selassie I, Ethiopia, Volume 1 is available for purchase at www.bookmanexpress.pub. Please visit for more information.
I have a special guest. We're going to have a reasoning around bringing that family together. Matchmaking in Rastafari. Do we need it? Do we need arranged marriages? Do we? What? We're not doing something right. And if we don't reason about it, you know what I mean, then we're not going to improve it. So I'm okay to touch these touchy topics here. Get your ital snacks, get all of your meditation together, because today we are going there. We're going to touch all of those uncomfortable topics, of course, from a Rastafari and Pan-African worldview. Before I do that, let me just big up the Lion Pride. Big up the Lion Pride. If you subscribe, you're new here, you're part of the Lion Pride. Just click the subscribe button. You're part of a global family. Big up the Lion Pride on Patreon. We have our town hall meeting coming up June 22nd, our second edition. The first one is now available for all our Patreon members. Can check out the first town hall. We're building a virtual village, and I'm going to find out today, because I'm feeling like I want to have some opportunities for single Rastafari and Pan-African people within the Patreon, within the virtual village. You know what I mean? I'm thinking about how we're going to make that work, but that's something that I think that we can add, because if it's a virtual village, you meet your queen in the village, you meet your king in the village. We're reasoning, we're working, we're rising. You know what I mean? Why not add that component where single brethren, positive single sister can come in, and you know, we have some activities for them too. So we're gonna talk about it, because this sister today is part of our Lion Pride on Patreon via the Lalabella Institute. We'll also get a quick update on the Lalabella Institute, what's happening. This is one of the frontline battlefield soldiers. You've seen her on the platform many times. Blue Fire Energy. However, we are now again talking about relationships. So, family, help I to welcome the Royal Rases Jazanai Kush. Welcome.
Give thanks, Rastafari. Peace and love.
Yes, blessings to the eye. Welcome. It's always a joy to have the eye on the platform.
Give thanks. It's always a joy to be here with the Lion's Pride.
Yes, and I know that today we're gonna touch some spicy topics. So you know, I know that the eye is well ready. I was looking forward to this. How I want to start, and we're gonna talk about matchmaking for the Rastafari nation. How do we bring together the masculine and the feminine energy to create stable, long-term families? Because that has to be the goal. We're not talking about hookup culture. You know what I mean? Sneaky link. This is not the sneaky link show. You know what I mean? This is not the hookup and all these things that are very prevalent in Rastafari family today. We gotta be real. A lot of hooking up going on. We're talking about the matchmaking and stable families. So I want to start by let's talk about the exemplar. His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. What lessons can we learn from his union and his meeting, that courtship process with him and Empress Menen?
Well, first of all, I would like to say that in Ethiopia, there are several types of marriages. Okay, so I think that that's important to acknowledge. You have civil marriages, you have traditional, marriages, and then you have your church marriage. So Haile Selassie in his autobiography is very clear to state that the marriage between Waziro Yeshimabet Ali, his mother, and Ras Makonnen was that of a church marriage. So clearly, he viewed that marriage as to be the most sacred of the three. So it's important to make that distinction. So His Majesty's autobiography also mentions his view towards marriage. And in it, he speaks about himself as well as his advisors, thinking that at the age of 19, after being given the governorship of Harar, after having a stable governorship, right, that it was decided that it was now time for him to marry. So he was married previously. And so that marriage resulted in a daughter, but that marriage was not a church marriage. Okay, so that marriage was probably a traditional marriage or a civil marriage. All right, so deciding that he would marry Empress Menen and that this type of marriage would be one that he would put at the level of church was very important. But it was thought out. The fact that he even mentioned it, and not that just in 1911, and I think that's important too for us to commemorate the day, July 31st, 1911. And so not just to say that at the age of 19 I got married, but to say that there were certain steps that were that were
Yes.
already put into,
Yes.
and so I look at their marriage, and he gives us little tidbits. He says things like, even though they might have had issues, that those issues never needed outside interference, that they were able to come together and solve their issues, which shows a positive connection between the two, overstanding one another. I think that that's important. Also, the level of loyalty that he talked about the Empress having towards him or for him. For example, uh, she was on her way to a funeral and heard about the boating accident, where several people drowned, right? And His Majesty was a part of that accident, and how she, turned around on that journey to be with him during that time. So, we don't know a lot about their union, but what we do know, we hear from him, and it seems as if it was a very loving union. And oh, there is something else. Let's talk about this really quickly. And we get this from the Empress's grandson or great grandson's autobiography. I think it's called King of Kings, when he talks about the fact that when Haile Selassie was about to ascend the throne, that he was being advised or considering not ascending the throne with Empress Menen, but ascending the throne with a woman who was considered by certain standards as more beautiful. And so during that time, Haile Selassie makes a decision to ascend the throne, as we know, with Empress Menen. So even and that was a tough time. That was a tough situation, because by
Yeah,
that
this is
time they
brand new. This is brand new information for I don't know this part of the
oh,
history. Yes.
I stopped the reading, Ross, just a little bit.
No,
Okay,
but that's the thing about the reading Ras. It never stop, and I want the
okay,
people to understand this never
okay.
stop. You know what I mean? That's why I love reading.
That's right. Well, I was very surprised when I read that. And but in the end, of course, he ascended the throne with the Empress. So I mean, when you talk about a tough situation, you know what I'm saying? They were able to get through that, and he did the right thing, of course.
Yes.
Well, Haile Selassie the first of the Almighty. And this is the Dejazmatch Kwasi. And the mission, that's the restoration of the black family. Yeah. Who Jah bless me, say no one curse. Black woman, it's time to merge. Black redemption, we're on the verge. Well, I don't care what you heard. Haile Selassie first, him no second or third. Cause even when their lines are blurred, the eyes stand straight, no bend, no curve. And him give you the love you deserve. Him don't come fi dominate, him come fi serve. Showed us the way home, I live his words. But I can't do it alone, so black woman, let's merge. High tall, sip and herbs, we merge. Massage fi calm her nerves, we merge. Together all demon purge, we merge. Another family emerge, we merge. We spoke and no speech was slurred, we merge. We agreed that Babylon's absurd, we merge. We had pain, now we feel cured, we merge. Hail the king, now she conquered. Well, I don't care what you heard. Haile Selassie first, him no second or third. Cause even when their lines are blurred, the eyes stand straight, no bend, no curve. And him give you the love you deserve. Him don't come fi dominate, him come fi serve. Showed us the way home, I live his words. But I can't do it alone, so black woman, let's merge. We met, something was stirred, we merge. Can't forget things that occurred, we merge. Take plane and start fly like bird, we merge. Friends and family observe, we merge. Them a spend while we conserve, we merge. From our goals we were not deterred, we merge. Till our energy transferred, we merge. Now our memories converge.